Hi everyone, I'm Vito, Director of Agent Success at Central Metro Realty, and this is Jason Huval, our founder and broker of Central Metro Realty. Today we're going to take a look at the T-47. There's been some notable changes this year. First of all though, Jason, what is a T-47 compared to a survey?
Cool. Yeah, no, a survey survey is like a map of the property. It basically shows, the boundaries, any, permanent fixtures, like your house that's on the property,
Okay.
and then easements that run through the property. It'd be most common, would be like a utility easement that might run through the yard.
Like electricity or
electricity,
water.
Yep,
Okay.
any of those things. Sometimes gas lines.
Yeah.
Or what have you, that belong to someone. An easement is something that belongs to somebody else,
Right.
on your property, right? Or it grants them permission to get onto your property for that.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, whereas a T-47 is just simply a form. Here we're just swearing. It's actually called a real property declaration in lieu of affidavit, right? So you're just declaring that there have been no changes to anything since the last survey.
And if you added like a deck or a permanent structure like a swimming pool or a slab that you put a shed on, that would have to be noted.
That's right.
That's
Anything
a
that's
permanent
permanent.
fix.
That's right.
Okay.
A shed without the slab though, that wouldn't be permanent. Right?
All
So if
right.
you just put it like on cinder blocks,
You buy some at Home Depot and just throw it on the
Yep.
backyard.
a lot of people take those with them, right? Whenever they leave, so it's not permanent.
It's removable.
That's right.
Yeah. Great.
So that's it. And so that's what this is. So on this form, it's relatively straightforward. You're going to say either that you made changes. Hey, we added a pool.
Right.
We added, that shed, the deck, whatever it is. You built another house back there. I don't know. Whatever it is, you're going to say either I made those changes or I made no changes at all. Like I haven't done anything. And so the form itself is relatively straightforward. You're going to fill out, the top section with the property information and everything. But one of the things I did want to note, you don't have to be the owner of the property to put this on there. It's going to be somebody that's familiar with the property, right? It's called a declarant. For example, declarant is the manager of the property for the record title owners, right? That could be like like a property manager.
I see.
In some cases, it could be a neighbor even, but they have to be familiar. Section 2 even says familiar with the property and the improvements located on the property. Right? So somebody who knows what's going on with the house, and then they're swearing all of these things, right? And so the big is where, like, what do I do? I didn't do anything since the survey. There's an exception there's a place where you put really the only thing you fill out on this whole form, you just write none if you didn't do anything.
Okay.
Which is the most common. Like people buy a house, they don't do really anything permanent to it. You just write none in there. For somebody who's added a pool, that's where they would put it.
Right.
Somebody's added that structure that we're talking about, that's where they would write it here. Because everything above it is you're saying there have been no. So it says to the best of my actual knowledge or belief since the date of the survey, the one that you're turning in, your old survey, right, there have been no. And it talks about swimming pools, decks, all these permanent, they call them permanent improvement or fixtures. And so that's it. Nothing's happened. You write none right here in this exception, except, right, none, or added a pool.
And hopefully we send that to the title company and we don't have to order a new survey.
That's right. And that's what your hope is, right? But if you've added a pool, typically they're going to make, the title companies want to make sure that any major structure doesn't encroach on the property lines, right? That you did it correct. There's setbacks on a property, like your build lines are. They're going to want to make sure of all that. So they're probably going to order another survey if you've done something major. But you can always try. You never know. And this form, as soon as possible, I would have this done. Kind of like your seller's disclosure should be done right at listing, right? So you have that disclosure, so you can give that to everybody. Similarly, this T-47 form is something that I would do so it doesn't slow you down.
Gotcha.
Right? Usually on the contract says within so many days you're going to order a survey.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't turn in this and the T-47, the survey and the T-47. So you want to make sure this is
done at the beginning.
Ready to go. This is something I'd have my sellers, do right off the bat, and now it doesn't need to be notarized.
Yeah, that's the big notable change this year is that you no longer have to have your T-47 notarized.
That's right.
Which saves a lot of time and a lot of it's very convenient.
That's right.
Yeah. that pretty much sums up.
That's it. That's really
T-47.
that's what a
and the
T-47
changes.
is and what it does, and yeah, the only, like you said, the big change is just the notarized bit on here, but I think that's it.
If you still have questions, feel free to reach out at broker@centralmetro.com or call or text the broker support line at 737-249-9010.
Cool.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for watching.